Tom's and Friends, it's something we all heard of. It's a crime if you didn't. The series started in 1984 based on the books from 1945. The franchise has been around for years. But of course, for something that's been around for nearly 80 years, there's always some sort of mystery. With Thomas, it's no exception, having tons of unanswered questions and mysteries that sometimes not even the creators themselves could answer. So, let's take a look at some of these mysteries in Thomas and Friends. Number 1. How did the engines gain their faces? Whether you were a fan or not, you always had this question. How can this thing talk? Of course, the most asked question is how the engines get their faces, and for that, there has been many theories, but we do have 2 official answers. Sorta. Wilbert said, quote, "My rule is that faces are allowable in the book since the engines are on Sodor, where anything can happen and usually does, but that is not so in England," which already doesn't really answer a lot. The second one is what I like to call the not canon answer in Thomas the Magic Railroad, with the engines being alive because of magic. But we don't care about that. So that left with the fandom to come up with their own theories. One of these theories is the first firing theory, where whenever an engine is steamed up for the first time, they become sentient. While this could work for steam engines, what about diesels and electrics, or rolling stocks? How do brake vans, coaches and trucks get their faces? And what about non-rail vehicles like Birdie, Harold and Cranky? I can go all day, but for the sake of my sanity, I'll stop here.
Hello!
Number 2. What are the standing stones at Kildane? In Kildane they are the standing stones, sometimes being called the satanic stones. The stones in real life are based on various prehistoric burial sites on the Isle of Man being unearthed by erosion after being built on the ground for centuries. It was also the home of a bloody battle against the Party of Danes, and it had some satanic rituals. It's also the place where Henry had his flying kipper accident. This was a bad place. When it came to the satanic rituals, it made sense it happened in Kildane. It does mean the Church of the Devil after all. There's not really much to say as there isn't really any information. I mean, it's just a bunch of giant stones. What do you want me to say? Number 3. Did Duke invent Smudger? Who the hell are you? Everyone remembers their favorite narrow gauge engine, Smudger. Smudger was a character introduced in the season 4 episode Grand Puff. Smudger's story is that he was a reckless engine, always derailing. The manager had enough of him and allegedly turned him into a generator. Obviously, this was the TV show's version of Stanley, who had the same fate. But while we know that Stanley actually was a real engine, what about Smudger? After this episode, he never appeared again, not even mentioned, and in a shot from the episode Bulldog, the shed where Smudger is supposedly in, he's not there. Which begs the question, did Duke invent Smudger just to scare Stu and Falcon? Or was that he was a real engine but had a different fate? And if he was turned into a generator, where is he now? Number 4. Was Godred real? Godred, who was introduced in the story about Lookout in the Mountain Engines book, was an engine that worked on the Caldyfell Railway, who got his name from King Godred. If he went to school, he would be the spoiled rich kid. He was also a careless engine which caused him to tumble down a mountain and became, well... He was actually rescued but was far beyond repairs, and since they didn't have money to fix him, he was left at the back of the shed being used for spare parts until he was nothing but a few bolts and screws. At the end of the story, you found out that Caldy, who was telling the story to Sir Handel and Duncan, made it up after Scarlowe and Rhaenyra laughed about it. But there has been evidence that Godred did exist, so what happened to him now? Was Caldy actually telling the truth? Was Godred really used for spare parts? The people need to know! Number 5. Who is Barry the Rescue Engine? When it comes to cancelled characters, the character most talked about is Barry the Rescue Engine, a character that was supposed to be introduced in the Railway series by Christopher Audrey around the 1980s. The book was cancelled because the publishers wanted more stories about Thomas since the TV show was airing at the time. The whole problem would have been solved if the book was called Townsend Barry or something. Now, if you think that's weird, wait until you see what he could have looked like. We live in a world where we have two Barrys. Welcome to the internet. For the longest time, most people believed and accepted that Barry was based on an LMS IVET class 2260. That was until the 2023 Audrey extravaganza, where Richard Audrey went, "You fools, he was a Mickey!" Yes, according to Richard Audrey, the son of Christopher Audrey, Barry was actually based on an LMS IVET class 2262T, nicknamed Mickey Mouse, aka Arthur. I bet people were pissed. To be honest, I don't know where the idea of Barry being a tender engine came from. I mean, for all we know, he could have been a narrow gauge engine. It could be a miss here. I mean, words do look the same. And now, the last mystery that's on everyone's mind. A mystery that is still unsolved to this day. Number 6. Who created Timothy the Ghost Engine? God damn it, who made you? Timothy the Ghost Engine is the fandom's most popular OC, and no one knows who made him. In case you don't know who Timothy is, I'm sorry I have to be the one to tell you this. This is a character most popular on Halloween. I mean, we're also gonna get a ghost train. Easter? Timothy is basically an old Thomas with white or silver paint with the number 0. The face, which is most famous for being the face of Timothy, is actually the Elder Thomas face. The face itself is a mystery. All we know is that it was made after David Mitton as a prank to the cameraman. The exact day when it was made is mixed around. Some say during the Burgers of Season 3, some say during Season 5, others say during Thomas' Magic Railroad, so the face itself is a mystery. But the main question everyone has about Timothy the Ghost Engine is, who the hell created him? I legit can't find anything on who created him, and when I think I did, it was a dead end. So if you guys know anything that might help me find the creator, let me know. I really want to do some sort of interview with them. And those were just some of the many mysteries in Thompson Friends. I hope you enjoyed them, as this was a pain to write and research. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like and comment below on what Thompson Friends mysteries I should talk about next. And while you're at it, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and oh yeah, it's Halloween. Boo! Yes, I can see that you shit yourself. Go take a shower.